doing, guys? Do I do an opening statement? Sure. This was great for us. I think that, sometimes as you're building, you need to make sure that, and that's why it was good that we played them the first game, just understanding the league, understanding, how it's going to be played, understanding all those different things, and then, just a good environment for us to be in, which was great for us to learn and to grow and to get better. And we will get shockingly better. I think a little bit of it was that Ole Miss game kind of hurt our flow a little bit because they were switching so much, and then just couldn't recover offensively into this game where you have to get to the next action. We just weren't getting to the next action consistently enough. And then, you can only withstand so much of the offensive rebounding pressure, the post pressure, when you're not scoring. And then it just kind of overwhelms you. And obviously the free throws, 25 free throws or whatnot, that'll get you too. So I thought we did a great job in transition defensively, which was a big key for us. And then, I thought O-boards were okay for a little bit. I thought we broke a little bit down the stretch. And then obviously the free throw differential is one of those things we're going to have to fix.
Questions for Coach? What do you attribute the rebounding struggles to?
I haven't watched it. I think some of it is, I'd have to watch it to be certain. Part of it is we got in foul trouble. Our guys our best rebounders got in foul trouble. We had 3 of our bigs with 2 fouls initially, and so that'll hurt you. And then probably got in rotation, and a lot of times when you get in rotation, but I'd have to watch to be certain.
Ben, your take on Michigan State's physicality? I think it got 52% of its misses.
Did it? That wasn't very good then. 52%. Yeah, that's good. That's good for them. I don't know. Again, I have to watch it. I'd have to watch it because it's tricky because I'd have to watch it. I don't know exactly what went wrong with that. I don't know if we had body on body. I kind of felt like we did sometimes. It felt like the guards then came in and maybe our guards were either leaking or weren't around or weren't getting the 50-50 balls. Some of those things. And then obviously the foul trouble killed us because then I think in the first half, we got a box out foul that was somebody's second, I think, maybe either Tavion or Cam. And then it was like, well, we can't get a third foul. And so then you start to get worried on the physicality. And then it's like, okay, well, I don't know if they're going to call that all game. So we just got to do a better job, which that's why we wanted to play here first. That's good.
The factor was Jeremy Fear's defense on Sturts.
I think it was good. I think our offense was probably a bigger factor. It was awful, to be honest. We didn't get to the next action. We sat there in a high ball screen, and that worked against Ole Miss, and that doesn't work against a good defense that's kind of loaded up. They do a great job of loading up, do a great job of preparation. Their bigs do a good job in coverage, and then they kind of shrink behind you, and so you can't just sit there in the same. You got to get to the next action. In spurts, the second half we started to get to the next action, but it wasn't consistent enough, and you can't just come down and run one play, like one ball screen. You got to get to the next, and we just didn't do a good job tonight of that.
Ben, you looked like you guys came out trying to assert some toughness a little bit and trying to match them. I'm just wondering, when you haven't necessarily got into the Big Ten play for some of these guys yet, you mentioned the learning curve that this was, but how much do you feel like that can translate down the stretch here when you got one more game now and then 18 after the new year?
Yeah, it's going to help us a lot. Like that's the thing. Like we're an infant program still. I mean, this is our first year. These guys are playing great. We're not going to sit here and pout about this. Like this is good to play this kind of game. And it's like one of those things. It's like, we got our butts beat. I've had my butt beat before. Like this isn't the first time. And this is sometimes a good thing, because then you can learn and you can grow. And as long as you use it the right way and don't say, oh, we can't beat them. It's just you gotta learn. We need to be better the next time. Hopefully we get another opportunity to play them at some point. And hopefully it'll be better.
Coach, in the middle here, your philosophy on offense is a very slow-paced offense. When you see yourself down
18, 19, 20 points kind of early in the second half. Does your philosophy necessarily change of trying to pick up the pace to get back into the game, or is it more of just, hey, we got to all together offense, defense, and flow it back in?
Yeah, so I think a couple things. I think we didn't want to play at the pace we played at tonight. We wanted to play faster. We didn't, and I'm not sure why. I probably didn't have them prepared enough. Second half, we wanted to play a little bit faster. I will say this, I think it was a 59 or 60 possession game against UNC. I almost think Michigan State might start, they score in transition, but I kind of suspect that they're forcing that half court where their offensive rebounds matter more. And maybe I'm wrong, but I felt like they got pretty deep into the shot clock down to the end pretty consistently. That kind of slowed the game down on top of how we play. But we just need to get to the next action. We just kind of stalled out way too much. But we'll fix it. We'll be better.
Ben's first true road game of the season for you guys. How do you feel like you just dealt with the atmosphere?
I mean, we started good. I didn't think we concentrated enough. I don't think the atmosphere got us. I think it was just didn't play very well. It just didn't. Our offense was inept. We didn't play very well today. That happens, and they had a lot to do with that. It's not like we were just it was just us. They had a lot to do with that. But it was one of those games that you're like, oh, I just didn't play very well, and we've got to get better. And I'm certainly thankful that we got exposed because that's how you get better.
Brendan didn't play at all in that second half. What led to that decision?
Good question. I thought we needed to get paint more, probably. Meaning, I think we needed more driving, and we didn't have enough driving. So we're trying to get to the paint a little more consistently, but we couldn't get them in rotation like we wanted to. So, again, we just have to do a better job next game, and hopefully we will.
You talked about getting to the next action offensively. How is that something you guys just have to practice, watch film? How do you kind of get that better?
Yeah, again, I probably have to watch it, but we were great offensively. And then we played Ole Miss, and they switch. And so then they switch, and you really can't run a lot because you stall out. So then it's like, okay, now it's matchup driven because it's against a switch. Well, then it's matchup driven, and one of our players has a big game. And so then we're kind of like, okay, well, let's just do that every game. It's like, it's not going to work. So then you try to recalibrate it in practice, but it's tricky because, he's playing well. And so, and again, I'd have to watch, but my guess is guys were kind of just watching the show a little bit too much. And that works against some teams. It doesn't work here.
Last question.
Ben, in your career, you haven't lost much, but I'm wondering in terms of turning the page from a loss, what's the secret there? How do you turn a loss into learning opportunity or prevent those from happening again?
You can't overreact. I think that when we took this program over, we knew it was going to be a tough takeover. Like, it's going to be tough. And I think last year even we lost 2 in a row at home, I think. Last season, now we didn't get beat by this amount, but we also didn't go to Michigan State. So we learned from that. And a lot of times when you go and you watch, there's certain things that are self-inflicted. And if you can fix the self-inflicted, there's certain things that they did that you're just not going to beat, right? And then there's things that are self-inflicted that you have to correct. And so as long as we don't overreact to that, I think we can really make some big time strides. And I can be a better coach, and then and our players can be better in regards to that. So, and we got a great opportunity coming Saturday, so that's good for us.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.